Okay, hi everyone. I think we can already start, just 2 p.m. So yeah, welcome to our talk today. We are talking about hitting the ground running, implementing an e-commerce in no time using a boilerplate approach. I hope you can understand me now. Is that better? Yeah? Okay, perfect. All right. Yeah, then let's have a quick look at us, about us. So my name is Kristina Keil. I'm a product manager at About You and in our business unit SCAYLE. And I am working for About You since around about 1 year. And I am responsible for the Storefront Core, our front-end product in SCAYLE. And yeah, next to me is standing Juan Garcia. Maybe you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, my name is Juan Garcia. I'm working for SCAYLE as a front-end lead developer for the last 2.5 years. Now, I'm here to hopefully tell you a little bit and give you some backgrounds of the technical side of life.
Perfect. Thank you, Juan. Yeah, so let's have a look at today's content. So first of all, I would give you a quick introduction to SCAYLE. If you haven't heard anything of it yet, could be the case. Then I will proceed with the boilerplate approach, where I will introduce you to our Storefront Core. And Juan will guide you through the technical architecture of the Storefront Core and will display also our first implementations and learnings we made so far. In the end, I will also give you a quick outlook and a vision of the Storefront Core, and afterwards we will also have time for a little Q&A session. Okay, so yeah, let's start with SCAYLE first of all. So SCAYLE is the B2B service unit of About You, and About You Holding SE runs in 2 different business lines. So most of you probably have heard of About You as the fashion platform, but since 2017-18, we are also selling our technology to brand and retailers to scale their business across technology, operations, and online marketing. Our mission is to empower brands and retailers to significantly grow their digital business. The unit consists of over 400 employees across Europe, making sure our engine is continuously fine-tuned and enhanced. And as mentioned before, the About You platform runs also on our SCAYLE tech stack, which is why we have already an intrinsic motivation to innovate ourselves constantly. And SCAYLE is specialized in a B2C commerce, where services work already out of the box and are flexible in use. We have already over 100 online shops live in over 26 countries. Okay, so I will give you a short overview of our out-of-the-box capabilities. We offer the product management, which also includes product data handling and catalog management, the shop management with the multi-shop management, price handling and promotion, the headless front end with shop application, component library and CMS integration, as well as the checkout with payment and user authentication, and also, last but not least, the order management with the end-to-end order processing and stock management. But today, we want to focus on the front-end part. And this is where you get to meet our SCAYLE Storefront Core. So the Storefront Core is an all-in-one white-label solution for quickly building e-commerce, high-performance e-commerce shops for SCAYLE commerce engines. Our aim is to make it extremely easy and quick to build a best-in-class shop front-end. It is based on a modern tech stack, based also on vue.js and Nuxt.js, which is connected to SCAYLE APIs and a checkout module. But we will get into technical details later on. It consists of 2 parts. So first of all, we have the Storefront Core, which you can see here, which is green highlighted, where we have all the business logic included, as well as integrations with our SCAYLE commerce engine backend. we have helpers and mappers, composables, as well as the API layer. And then, next to the Storefront Core, we also have our demo shop, starter kit, white label solution, can call it however you want. And it provides a full frontend, inclusively all features and pages that are required for a modern front. It is built in a way that makes it very easy to change, extend, or replace the whole appearance of a shop. It provides a very fast performance while still delivering optimal SEO and mobile experience due to server-rendered pages. The advantage of our boilerplate approach is that the effort of launching a new commerce shop is drastically reduced, since you only have to focus on developing UI and some customized features. Yeah, but starting in the beginning, and how our Storefront Core has evolved over time and shortened the development time of a new shop frontend. So formerly, we had a development time of a new customer shop frontend up to 12 months. We had a lot of dependencies in the old Storefront Core where we were using Angular, and when it came to client-specific adjustments in frontend. Our developer speed was more average due to a complexer technology, and hence also the onboarding of new developers took longer. Today, our development time of a new customer shop in frontend is only about 2 to 3 months. We have client-specific adjustments that can be mostly handled in a shop frontend, and the new Storefront Core stays clean and simple. The developer speed increased as well due to a simpler handling of configuration and customizations within Nuxt.js and Vue. And hence, onboarding speed of new developers increased massively. So, looking at the white label solution of our frontend, it is already fully featured with standard e-commerce components. It includes product listing and detail pages, a category tree navigation, filtering, sorting, a wishlist and a basket functionality, a complete checkout integration, best-of-class user tracking and SEO elements, as well as internationalization and integration with a headless CMS for managing content. But now we are getting to our demo time where I will show you our Storefront Core and the boilerplate. 1 second. Okay, so this is our homepage, this is our demo shop, and first of all you can see the homepage with some CMS elements. So everything what you can see on the homepage is basically firstly coming from our CMS integration where we are using Storyblock. So having a look at the homepage, we can firstly see a hero slider where we are able to upload images and redirect to categories or wherever we want. Then we also have a image slider where we also can add simple images and redirect to the categories or whatever pages we flexibly want to use. The same is for clickable images, which you can see here now, and a product slider where we are able to define product IDs, which are also connected with our backend. And when clicking on a product, we also get redirected to the specific product detail page. Yeah, then we also have the possibility to add SEO text below a page, which you can see here now, and also to define a footer. Then scrolling up, we can use the search bar, where I wanted to have a look for new blouses, and you can see some results in here. Clicking on all results, we can see our search result page with all the blouses I was looking for. And then we also have our navigation, which is also connected with our backend. And we can see, for example, men accessoires, and then also the women product listing page. We are able to add products already in the wish list. We can already remove them from the wish list. And it's all out of the box, all functioning. We can also sort, for example, price descending. You can see the results here. and go back to the newest products. We can also filter. So if you're looking for a red t-shirt, then you can find them here. Okay, we remove the filter again, and then switch back to the wish list. On the wish list, we also have the possibility to remove again the products. We can also add them to the basket, and this is how this looks now. When we're going to the basket, we are also able to add and remove products from the wish list. We can change the amount, and we have the summary on the right side. Okay, and then we can continue with our shopping and go to the checkout, where our demonstration will end now. Okay, so that was a short demo time, and if you have questions later on, please let me know, and I would hand over to Juan, who will now proceed with the technical architecture.
Cool. Thank you very much, Kristina. I think we covered now a lot of features, great features of the demo shop. So I think it's now also important to have a look on some technical details. And yeah, let's say, imagine there is a developer sitting in front of a white paper or, I don't know, a screen with an empty file. And you need to solve some tasks there. And one task is to create a demo shop, a white label solution for other developers in the future to be able to start the application, to start the shop, and to be really productive at the end for all the clients out there. So it sounds at the beginning a little bit of tricky, and maybe you get a little bit stressed, but there is a solution. SCAYLE. So the thing is that SCAYLE itself offers us the Storefront API. And this is our first helper in that case as developer that you can rely on. So the Storefront API offers us a lot of endpoints that we can use, providing all the information regarding products, categories. We can filter, we can sort, we can add items to the basket, we can remove items from the wish list. We can also manage campaigns. So altogether, the complete part related to e-commerce is provided and handled by that Storefront API. And we can rely on that API because it's bulletproof, right? So our About You retail shop is also using the same kind of system. And I think we went through a lot of different Black Fridays and a lot of requests there to show that it's a system that gives every developer some trust to develop with. Then there's also the checkout. So imagine you would need to handle user management, I don't know, to think about how to store user information, data protection, all that stuff. So not for us. There's a checkout. We just need to implement an iframe, some OAuth authentication, and the rest is up to maybe, some session usage and all of that, but then there's also the complete checkout process. So imagine you would need to implement payment methods, I don't know, credit card, Klarna, whatsoever. So I think I'm getting right now nervous when I'm just thinking about it. But checkout is taking over. It's just a web component that we need to implement. Just inject there a basket ID and that's it. So we are fine. At the end, after the purchase, we will be redirected back to our order success page and back to our own application. So, and everything else is covered, also kind of a protection layer. There's our security team and our ops team. So also a team that we can rely on, ask if everything is fine, if everything is protected. And now you sit there as a developer and it feels much better, right? So you can lay back, put shoes on the table, I don't know, but maybe too early. There are some other tasks and challenges that we need to cover. So in one challenge is, as an example, to use a backend for frontend, so kind of a Node Express server. We need to communicate with that checkout using the back channel. So we need to solve this somehow. Then there's SSR rendering, of course. No-brainer, we need this. It's a must-have for the optimization. Then there's also caching, a topic. So yeah, the Storefront API is really powerful, but yeah, I think caching itself is always way faster to get the information directly from memory. So yeah, we need to think also about some solutions there. Then think about state management, I don't know, routing, internationalization, tracking. Also to think about bigger companies maybe want to share some technology, some knowledge there. If they implement, as an example, for one shop, a store locator, they maybe want to reuse it with a different shop. So we need also to think about that topic. But I think the most important topic is to be developer friendly. So it's great to work on those challenges and to have a product at the end, and then it's only, I don't know, spaghetti code. And if another developer will need to jump in and to continue the work or to start initially, then yeah, it will not help nobody. So in this case, this is the most important part, to develop something that is really a boilerplate that really helps developers to proceed and yeah, to find and be productive. So we decided to use Nuxt.js. It was also a longer journey to get to that decision. We proved some proof of concepts and all of that. But now I think we can be really happy with that decision. Nuxt.js offers us developers from the beginning, it's a universal app, so SSR rendering is working out of the box. So with no big need of setups and complicated stuff, it just works. So the wish list, basket page, product detail page, whatsoever, is working directly with SSR. Then there is the great project structure by default. So every developer with some experience with JS frameworks can have a better understanding. So if they're searching the wish list page, they will know it's in the pages directory, or there is a plugin to be implemented, or a component, or whatsoever. They know how to find it. It's way easier to get into it and to proceed and to continue the work than the Node server, as mentioned before. When we build the application, the Nuxt application, it will start automatically. The server is there. We can just implement some middlewares to connect to the checkout. As mentioned before, using the back channel, we can implement and exchange access tokens. So this is, everything is implemented. We just need to start it, and it's there for us to use it. And then for the internationalization, there are some plugins also offered by Nuxt to handle things like, I don't know, to use path-based approach, domain-based approach to handle the languages. Everything is at the right place. We can implement external tools like Crowdin, connect to those languages. So everything is set up in a way that, yeah, developers feel good with it. And yeah, it's a complete application that we can start and we can work with it. So then we also decided to use the composition API. The composition API helps us, from one side, to have a better code structure. So normally, when programming with Vue, everything is separated with the data, functions, and methods. But now we can use just that setup method and return all the values that are necessary for the front end. And in this case, it's also a great topic to use those custom composition functions, composables in that case. This is now an example that we can use use basket. So this is now an example for use basket case. Oh, sorry. For use basket, we can fetch. Oh, 1 second. Hey, cool. We can fetch. Also, first, we implemented everything from our SCAYLE core. So it's an external package provided by us with different composables for a lot of helpers, like for the basket page, use basket, or use wishlist, use filters, or whatsoever. And then the implementation is really easy. using those composables. We just need to fetch the data. The data is fetched from the Storefront API, as mentioned before. And then we can reuse those variables in the template, in the front end. So as an example, basket fetching is a Boolean, true, false. So if you want to show in the template a skeleton, a loading skeleton, you can rely on that variable here. Then there is the data to loop through. Then there is a basket count just for that typical sentence. There are 20 items in the basket. Yeah, exactly. So this is really helpful. And really great is also the state management that we can solve with the composition API. So normally we would need to introduce some things like Vuex to handle that state. And normally when we use a shop, we just need to keep an eye on the top navigation to show that small icon, to show the amount of items within the basket. So here with the state management, we can share with those composables the state of the basket count, as an example. And we don't need to install all that complicated libraries. We can rely on the composition API to use this. And that, yeah, at the same time, we can save a lot of code and lines of code there. Then let's keep an eye on caching. At the beginning, we started to use Nginx for caching, and everything is fine with Nginx, but the Nginx approach. Problem here is that you really need a little bit more experienced developers to work with it. So a normal medium front-end developer, I don't know, it's kind of difficult to find someone that is able to also set up some Nginx caching and to later debug everything. So you would rely really on a developer that is really experienced in that part. And you can cache maybe a complete page, right? And it's really fast, it's really good. But we thought about a better solution in that case to be able to separate the logic. So there is, as an example, in the navigation, there are the categories that maybe we need to save the cache for a time to live of maybe a week, I don't know, as an example now. So because there is never a new category once in a week. And for the content pages, as an example from the content management system, the content management they want to change the content every 5 minutes, I don't know, just an example. So in that case, we can use this wrapper around our call to the Storefront API, just wrap it with the cached. We can set up the time to live, define a cache key. This is exactly the key, really good for debugging, to navigate through the database. It's optional, so we also can define a default value there. And so this is just an example to give a possibility and way more freedom to decide by our own what request we can cache and set the time to live in a better way. So this is just Redis. And of course, Redis is really fast and I think a really good caching solution there. And then we also decided to use, last but not least, Tailwind. I know that maybe there are some developers. We can start a fight with the Tailwind. There are some pros and cons. I don't know. I don't want to discuss now this here. But for us, I think with that productivity in mind, I think it was a good solution to decide to use Tailwind. So build your styles without leaving your HTML. This is the major slogan that you will find on Tailwind. And I think in our case, it's really the case. So imagine you would need here, need here to create a class name, like, I don't know, circle minus detail, whatever. And then you need to move all that stuff maybe here at the bottom of the file to a style tag or into a different file. So later in the review, you would start to discuss a lot, right? So there is one developer, this is not the right naming convention, and the merge request will take hours, days. So this is really good for the productivity. When you review the code, you're exactly at the right place. You can see that the color is changed. You can see also the tags where you are, and it's way easier to interact and to, yeah. So then we can save a lot of files and a lot of lines of code, of course. Yeah, so now with all that learning and optimizations, we figured out that it was way easier to develop some different pages in less time. So we started with the demo shop. It's a white label solution. Then after 1-2 weeks, we could set up the Tailwind setup, basic fonts, basic change of logos and whatsoever. And then around 4 weeks later, we can start to implement some special features like special tags, client-specific stuff, right? So, and of course, it will take, dependent of the product and the client and all the wishes, it will take longer. But that was our feeling for some different projects. So now I'd like to share also some implementations. This is now an example for FC Bayern. Went live, I think, last 2 weeks ago for Austria. And yeah, here we implemented a jersey configurator. So on top of our logic, to make it possible to customize different products, to set the name. And this is, I think, nothing special, right? So a developer with Vue experience can use our structure, can create an own page, maybe a special page for detail page for jerseys, and then they can start to implement that special logic there. So nothing, it's really good for developers to jump into that Nuxt structure and to develop their own specialties. And this was one great example, I think. Then also for edited, we implemented lookbooks. This is a good connection now to our content management system, Storyblock, we implemented. We can also implement others, so this is just also a wrapper that we decided to use now, Storyblock in that case. But here's the possibility to interact and to exchange the data with the content managers using Storyblock. They can create now different story lookbooks and define all the different products for that lookbook. And the same, or kind of the same for Depot. Depot was also challenging because of the product structure. So imagine here, we are not talking about fashion. We are talking about, I don't know, some products with suddenly with energy labels or measurements for tables. So we solved also that topic, and we were kind of proud of it to really demonstrate everyone that we can handle also a lot of different other products. And here is the shop, the look. So you can define, or the content management users, they can define a look, and you can find those products then in here listed, and then you can add all the items within the basket at one click, with one click, and continue your shopping experience there. So yeah, this is just a small insight and some examples. We use our white label solution there. So yeah, now I would like to hand over for the vision of the storefront.
Yeah, thank you, Juan. Yeah, so of course, the demo shop and the Storefront Core is already in a very good shape in our opinion, but there's always room for improvement. And yeah, we have some ideas in the backlog as well, and one would be to create a feature flag for extended features, what you have seen in the examples Juan mentioned just before. So right now, the demo shop has mostly like the standard e-commerce components, but we want to also enable feature flags for extended features, like you have seen lookbooks, size bundles, or out-of-stock reminder, etc. So this will be one goal of the Storefront Core, to enable also more specific features. Then the second one would be that we have a more automated shop creation process. Currently, if we create a new shop, there's a lot of manual effort we have to do. And right now we are already working on ideas how to make this more automated and less manual effort. Then the third point is that we want to have more flexibility in CMS systems. So as I mentioned before, right now we are using Storyblock. And we would like to offer more CMS systems for our clients, so that they have a greater choice which CMS system they would like to use. And then, last but not least, the vision is that there is actually no feature which we do not cover in our boilerplate. So imagine a client has the most special requirements. We want to be able to provide it out of the box. And yeah, and that's it for now. Thank you very much.